Okay, boys and girls, this is a video to review with you how to use a protractor to measure and draw angles. So real quick review, if you look at your protractor, there is the center point here, which is where we put the vertex of the angle, the point of the angle, and then there's two sets of numbers. So there's two sets of numbers because it depends on which direction the angle is going. So we're going to use what we know about angles and what we see on the protractor to get measurements for these angles. So for example, number one, if I put the vertex at the center point and line up this line along this basic line, I call this the zero line. So this is the zero part of the angle. So looking at the numbers, we count up by tens by going 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, not 0, 170, 160, 150. So that means that for this angle, we're using the inside numbers. We also know that because this is an obtuse angle. When we look at it, we can tell it's more than 90 degrees. So my answer has to be more than 90 degrees. So when I follow the numbers and I see where the line goes, it goes right past 40 or 140. Well, it can't be 40 because it's an obtuse angle again, so it has to be bigger than 90. Plus, we count by going 0, 10, 20, 30, so that means we're using these inside numbers. So if we go to 140, and then the line goes right past 140 to 141, 142. So this angle would be 142 degrees. Okay, let's do one more together. If I look at this angle, number 2, this is an acute angle. So that means my answer has to be less than 90 degrees. So I put my vertex at the point, line up these things, line up the zero line along the baseline here. And then I look at my numbers and it's 0, 10, 20, 30. So it's going to be the inside numbers, and it goes to 40. See, right through 40 actually, it looks like, if I line it up nicely. So this one is 40 degrees. Okay, I actually want to do one more that's facing the other direction. So let's do number 3 here. So we're going to line up the vertex, put these lines along this side of the angle, and when I look, I count 0, 10, 20, 30. So it's the top numbers this time, not the inside numbers. And it's an acute angle. It's got to be less than 90 degrees. It goes through 30, and then 31, 32, 33, 34, I would say. Either 34 or 35. It's real close. So that's how we use a protractor to measure angles. Now, let's say that you are told to draw an angle to a certain measurement. Well, let's start with 23 degrees. So for any angle, we need to start with our vertex, and we need a zero line. Doesn't matter which direction you go, but draw a vertex and a ray going off the vertex. That's our baseline. We want our lines to be nice and straight, which is why I use this part of the protractor to draw my lines. Now, I'm going to 23 degrees, so I'm going to put the vertex here and line up the ray that I drew along the zero line. And if I look, this is my zero line, so it's 0, 10, 20, 30, not 0, 170, 160. So we're using the inside numbers here. And we're going to go to 10, 20, and I'm going to 23. So this is 20 and 30. This would be 25. So 21, 22, 23. And I'm going to put a dot at 23. Not a big dot, just a little dot right at 23. Then I'm going to connect my vertex to the dot that I drew, and you could even go through it a little bit. Now finally, my last step, I'm going to measure it to make sure that it goes through 23. So 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. So there's my angle. Okay, let's do one more. Let's say that I want an angle that's 115 degrees. So I'm going to put my vertex and my ray, that's my zero line. Now this time it's 115 degrees, which means I know I'm going to end up with an obtuse angle, more than 90. So I want to go to 115. So I'm going to line my vertex on the point, on the center. The ray is going to go right along the 0 line, and I look to see, am I using the inside numbers or the outside numbers? Well, 0, 10, 20, 30, that means I'm using the outside numbers. So, and I want to go past 90 to 100, 110, 120, and 115 would be halfway between 110 and 120. So I'm going to put a little dot there at 115. Then I'm going to connect my vertex to the dot that I drew using the straight side of my protractor. And finally, just to double check, I'm going to line it up again and measure it, and it goes right through 115. So that is how you draw an angle using a protractor. If you have any trouble, go back and view the video again. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. Talk to you soon. Bye.